So one thing I want to do in these monthly updates is go beyond the numbers with you. So the stats tell us what's happened, but I spend every day negotiating contracts and showing homes, talking with buyers and sellers. So I really want you to have my viewpoint from the ground. And this month, the biggest surprise I would say was with one of my listings. It had been on the market for 32 days and then with consistent showings throughout, and interest was steady, but we hadn't seen any offers in 32 days. And then bam, overnight, we had 3 offers come in at once. It turned into a multiple offer bidding war scenario that took about 3 days to negotiate. So one of the things I want to share with you is don't assume that a home is stale just because it's been on the market for a few weeks, especially in the summer. Everyone thinks this is the fast and frenzied buying season. There's also a summer slowdown because people go on vacation. They're, taking time off. They're getting ready for back to school. They might push pause on the buying and selling. And so there actually is a summer slowdown. So don't assume that all homes are stale if they've been on the market for a while. Sometimes it just takes the right buyer to walk through that property and see it and say, hey, this is the one for me. So I've learned you can never really predict exactly when the right buyer is going to walk through that front door. On the buyer side, though, this past month, I'm definitely seeing more multiple offer situations depending on the price point than I did a few months ago. I had one buyer who was in our under $400,000 price point, lost out on several multiple offer situations before finally winning the situation, the multiple offer, and now they are under contract to purchase their home. And then buyer number 2 had been casually looking for 2 years, not in any rush, wanted to make sure it was the right home, and they found a brand new listing. They acted quickly and they won out in another multiple offer situation. This one was between $500,000 and $700,000. So definitely different things happening in different price points in our market. But the encouraging part is that neither one of my buyers paid more than they wanted to in the multiple offer situation. So a lot of people think that price is always what wins, but that's not always true. There can be things like shorter inspection periods, quicker closing dates, stronger financing, fewer contingencies, flexibility around possession, maybe a possible rent back situation. So every seller has different priorities. Some need to move quickly, others need extra time at closing. So, and that's my job. My job is to figure out what's most important to the seller and then write the offer based around those priorities. That's where it really matters. And then one thing I do want to share with you is this really surprised me this month, but I'm going to share with you. I've got the ups, I've got the downs. I had 2 different active buyers that I was working with, meaning I was out showing them property on a regular basis. And then after a couple weeks, they told me, oh, I've also signed a buyer representation agreement with another agent who's also looking for property for me. I need to share with you that I always want you to know, a buyer's agreement is a legal contract. It specifically explains that you can't be represented by more than one brokerage at the same time. So before you sign any contract, not just a real estate contract, take a few minutes, read through it, understand, even upload it to chat and find out exactly what you are signing. It will save you so much confusion down the road. So overall, my market minute, I'm seeing that the market is definitely becoming more competitive. Like I said, there can be those sleepy summer moments, but well-priced homes are attracting attention. Buyers need to be prepared to act quickly. Strong negotiation matters most of all. So if you're ever wondering how today's market affects your specific situation, your certain price point, I'd love to help you build that strategy for you because strategy is so important. And this is what I love about real estate is that every single contract, every single buyer and seller is different. There isn't one formula that wins every single time. That's why strategy, communication, understanding the current market conditions, that's really what's going to make the difference for you. So I hope you have a great month.